No, it's going to be fine.
Harmontown should be a safe place. The original conceit is I need to start a colony somewhere where we can all be cool to one another. And, I have some issues that I would bring to bear immediately, like you can have your shoes untied and no one can say your shoes are untied unless they really mean it well, instead of just saying your shoes are untied just to assert themselves over you, which is what I'm convinced people do when they say your shoes are untied.
But I've said to you, and I've heard people say to you that your shoes were untied in the nicest possible tone, and you still took great umbrage.
They still mean it. Can I tell you a story about me taking umbrage that happened outside? All right, yeah. Time for Dan's umbrage corner. My wonderful girlfriend, Erin McGathy, and I went to a party, a rooftop party that every year, I think Sarah Silverman has this rooftop party. And the stars come out in all of their constellations. I met Chris Bosch, and then I Googled him and figured out who he was. I met Das Racist, and I Googled them and figured out who they were. I met Jack Black, and he was like, hey, Das Racist is here. I met Gary Shandling and talked to him for like 8 minutes about television. He did all the talking, which was fine. I never even told him that I had anything to do with TV. I wanted to hear Gary Shandling talk about TV. For you youngsters, I know you know Larry Sanders the same way you know Mr. Show, because you're the way I had to know Python. But do you know it's Gary Shandling's show on Showtime? That's important to go buy the box set of. Maybe you don't have to sit through all of it. It's 1980s comedy, but the conceit of the concept was amazing. Like Gary Shandling has always been a pioneer of what, for lack of a better word, and I truly wish there was no lack of a better word, meta entertainment. He's always been a defender of the creative's right to use the frame as part of the painting, he talked for a little bit about the thing. But so as we were going into that party, we pulled up to the building, and we were walking in, and a guy said, "Are you here for Miss Silverman's party?" And we said yes, and he said, "It's on the roof. Go in the elevators on the left, straight up." I don't know what accent that is, but I know he had one.
That was Turkestan.
Then as we were opening the door, we just hear this voice. This guy goes, "The party's over." And I was like, "Oh, what?" And looked over at the guy who said it, and it was just a guy sitting on a bench. And he was sitting with a woman that was, I was like, "Oh, well, what is it?" And he immediately smiled and was like, "I'm just kidding." And then we went in and went into the elevator. And now in the elevator, I went, "That guy's a fucking lame ass." Or certainly his joke was lame. And Aaron was like, "Well, now he's just trying to be a comrade, whatever. He's as nervous as you are to be outside a party. He's trying to be funny, whatever. Good old Joan of Arc Aaron, tied to the fucking stake of being cool to everybody. I hated him. I thought he was a dick. Like, that's a dumb joke to make. If your joke is that you're a dick, that's a dick's joke. You may be pretending to be a dick, but that's what a dick does. If that's always your joke, I mean, that's often my joke. But so we go to the party. I'm not up here to have a breakthrough. I'm up here to be right. I'm up here to win an argument with my girlfriend because I have lights and a microphone on me.
However,
so we
if you were, it would go a little something.
We left the party, and then we go to the valet where our car is parked. And the valet takes my ticket, and he says, "Which car is yours?" And I said, "It's a silver Prius." And then as he's walking away, I go, "Well, that actually may be presumptuous. Call it a gray Prius." And Erin proceeds to she's like, see, you're as lame as that guy outside the party. And I was like, no, because my joke is that I'm lame. His joke is that we're lame. He was like taking high status, and I was taking low status. I was doing like a dumb joke. I'm just being funny and drunk, and that guy is like...
You saying that it was presumptuous as taking low status?
Well, yeah, but I was being ironic. I was being Gary Shandling about how what I was saying. It's a
was the guy on the bench Gary Shandling?
No.
Oh.
And then we got in a big fight.
And how did that go?
Well, it was her sticking up for a stranger on a bench all night. And me going, no, my Silver Prius joke was awesome. It was funny.
See, now,
Silver Prius.
But I don't want to overstep gray Prius.
It's funny. You know. Because silver's a color, but it also denotes value.
And you thought that landed?
Well, I didn't think it landed.
You thought that undid all the wrongs that the guy on the bench had to...
Why don't you change your name to Aaron? Because this is the conversation we had. But as I was trying to explain to her, it's not my joke, unlike the good party's over guy. My joke doesn't have to land. I'm not holding anyone hostage with my joke. I'm talking to the back of a valet's head. I don't care if he's deaf. It's still a funny joke to me, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to turn around and go, huh? And me go, just kidding about my Prius. This guy is that's comedic Al Qaeda to go like, party's over. What? The party's over?
No, it's not. Yeah, but
that's 6-year-old humor.
I've known you long enough to know that when your shoe's untied, you can't even say it like, hey, Dan, we're going into a kind of a dirty restaurant. The floor is dirty. You might want to tie those shoes. Like, there's no way to say that to you without you taking offense.
Nobody ever says you're going into a dirty restaurant. Everyone just goes, shoes untied, bro.
But I go, hey, Dan,
no,
shoes untied.
My shoes aren't untied.
I know, but
oh, the party's over formula.
No, I'm saying if I say that, I don't think I'm trying to zing you. I think I'm saying like, should that be a concern to you? Maybe you don't notice that. I've learned now to never give two shits about your shoelaces because I'm punished.
And I've learned to buy shoes without laces. This is a rare night for me. I'm wearing a fine pair of Adidas. Yes, Adidas.
As always, Harmontown brought to you by the good people at Adidas.
Why give your foot a handshake when you can give it a hug? Yes, Adidas. The A is for after glow. Have sex with your foot by slipping a warm Adidas shoe on it.
Yeah.
Nike.
Do you think that this is ever going to pay off? That Nike's going to really feel the pressure?
I can't stop now. What do we give up? Then if we give,
gentlemen, I've just seen a spike in sales over at Adidas, and it can only be attributed to one thing.
That's what we have to hope for.
This aggressive guerrilla campaign over at Harmontown to strong-arm us.
Yeah.
I say no way. I am the chief financial officer. I say no. And then an old man comes in in a wheelchair, and he goes, I think we're going about this all wrong, gentlemen. Give them whatever they want.
I remember when you were a gorilla, Richard. That's different, Mr. Jenkins.
I would like to think maybe in 4 months' time, instead of this Harmontown poster back here, just a huge Nike swoosh back here.
I'm telling you, yeah. Hey, Nike, living well is the best revenge. Fucking buy me out. And the next Harmontown can be about how much I love sucking Nike's dick. I'll have no choice. You'll have me on the hook. But
I think the first step, though, is we actually have to. It has to become evident that we've made Adidas $1.
Yeah, well, I believe that will become evident. Don't worry about that, Jeff. Don't become one of them. Just be a creative and advertise for Adidas, and let's see if we can reverse this.
I'm not your valet guy you can just yell shit at.
I don't know.
So what was the outcome of the fight? Did you guys find any closure to that?
Relationship better than ever. Sealed it all up. All the holes are plugged. I don't know. What's the? We agreed that we were both drunk and having an argument about a stupid thing. That's how it ended.
Do you guys ever argue about important shit? Like
no, like the Holocaust. Like 6 million people. Come on, give me the remote. No, we never argue about important things because we're both narcissistic assholes. We don't care about the polar ice caps. We care about ourselves and each other. So that's what we fight about. We fight because we worry that we don't love each other as much as the other person loves us. Those are the good fights. The love fights. You know, eagles, they make love in midair. And they spiral to the floor. What? You're moved to words? Just
yeah. What were you saying? Yeah, he got overcome. They're dying on the way down. You say?
They're floating. They're fucking death while they're fucking. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, so you like it? You like it? Yeah.
So you're saying the same thing the guy with the microphone is saying, just from the audience. Have you met Pink Hair? Don't have children. Some of us have work to do. Yes, Adam. Now Adam's raising his hand. I got the guy in the back doing the Mars callback. This is fucking This is chaos. I accept it. Yes, Adam.
I'm just saying if they have sex, they'll plummet to their deaths.
If they have sex, they'll plummet to their deaths. Asperger's Adam connected the dots. We have a whole cavalcade of fucking peanuts here.
The only thing that happened is that sometimes people get so overcome by what you've said, they're moved to agree. They're moved to cry out.
I think. Well, I don't.
Maybe
know.
sometime your story's shoe is untied, and they want to call it to your attention. You take umbrage.
No, that's not. See, this is a tragic misunderstanding because he was saying the same thing I was. But when I hear somebody talking,
yeah, you thought he was yelling at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you were just being supportive.
Right.
Yeah, now you really made him feel like a dick.
Oh, so you're saying that when people see your shoes untied, they're saying, I love you.
They're trying to help. Yeah. They're worried about your shoe.
I think that's their retroactive defense. I think that if someone says, shoes untied, brah, and you go, don't tell me what to do. Get out of my life. Tend your own garden, motherfucker. Back off. Then they go, you could trip. That was your first impulse. You walk around wondering when I'm gonna trip.
Some people do, man.
People who go, shoes untied, bro. Not that guy.
But I don't say it like that. I say your fucking shoes untied.
You've never told me my shoes untied.
I have.
You're a liar.
I have, and you got
scoundrel.
fucking. How about this? 2 nights ago at a wedding, we're getting ready for a wedding, and Dan Harmon came down in a nice suit. He's got a suit on, looks good in it. Dan's lost some weight, he's all fit. He looks like one of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, he looks great. But the motherfucker can't tie a tie very well. And so you came down with a sloppy Harmon knot, and I thought, and boy, if you think your shoes untied, I have more opinions about ties than shoes. Because the tie is right up there by your face, and I was like, can we, let's work on that tie. And you're like, ugh. And for some reason, there was a giant full-length mirror.
From my fashion show for Aaron to Sade.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Callback.
That's right.
Yeah. So there's a giant full-length mirror down there, and I say, Dan, and I would never do this because I know that you're not rewarded for telling Dan that anything is tied wrong.
Right.
He has a thing about that. And so I go, we got to fix that tie. And you're like, what's wrong with my tie? And I was like, I'm going to show you something. So I reach around and like grandpa before the wedding, and I'm tying the tie, and Aaron's taking a picture of it, and that's going to be Instagrammed in a moment. And you had the saddest look on your face the whole time. You were so bummed
because
out.
I know it's going to be Instagrammed, and it's like I've been tying a tie since I was 12 years old.
Yeah, but you tie it like shit.
No, I've got it down to a science. I do it very quickly.
But it looks bad.
The difference between it looking bad and looking good is how much money and power I achieve.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, if I put a shoe on my head and I'm president, everyone has to put a shoe on their head. We're monkeys. We're not fucking giraffes.
I'm just saying you look better with it. What's your beef against giraffes?
Well, they have long necks. I mean, they're willing to change for how high the leaf is. I mean,
I thought you meant because they had more neck, they'd be more concerned about ties.
When did I become the crazy comic relief guy in my own show? Why am I the Jamie Farr of this MASH? There was a show in the 70s called MASH. Can we get back on track, please? I try to keep an orderly show going here. Sometimes we get off on tangents. It's a rare thing, but
Normally this thing is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
We pick a topic, we stick to it.
Yeah. Tonight the topic is infidelity.